Electricity. In our crisis mood, MPP, you're making sure that there is electricity for the people of Ghana to work and keep people in employment, and make sure that people do not use flashlights and that they find the torchlights with theaters, and make sure that people don't lose their lives in hospitals, and make sure that people who rely on electricity don't lose their livelihoods. That is table A, NPP, Yateke, NDC, Yechum. In our crisis, Yatitia Pansa Mokrano. Akwalebia owo Ghana ha opeso ko school. Na onye na dwen say obema ni ha amana tena fie no akwalebia ade ba ko a ema ne ye dima Ghana ni ba say onko school eni sikasem. Boarding fees. Obi wo ha baby ote even though a kro Akuapem nota. Obi te baby te say okrase a ye ni secondary school bi okrase. The closest secondary school to okrase eye bi anu dwaben. Anase Mangosho secondary school anase Ekropon enti sai saa nipa no ese ne ba ko secondary school a eso to kwan either so be day and obey boarding day nye feasible enti so de ne ba no ko boarding e wo Benkum secondary school and Akuapem school oni sika o de betua boarding fees enti ne ba no aka tire fie na afibia under sa NDC fuyi afibia nkola 135,000 there about there o mo ketire fie ene under a byway at Pansam according to some medium fee useless. No, Ghana ni be a person or school. Whether we hear any bow, we are sick any bow. Ye the Sasikana, Mokase Waheno, ye the Tua Ghana for no, and Hoka. School dina, Nankolano Cosco Munya Muntina, and Munti ye the artificial cut-off point aba. I Munti, Aqualania grade 17, 18, yes, your cut-off point on to Munko school. Nina Nantro. Simply because Obi, there was no space for these children to go to the school, and it showed 2017 free senior school by it showed clearly say we didn't have the enough infrastructure to hold these children. Today, this government has provided the highest number of physical infrastructure in our secondary schools than any government since 1992. Classroom blocks are classroom blocks, dormitory blocks are dormitory blocks, dining halls are dining halls, assembly halls are assembly halls, so that many woba. And you hear me be back, and you be a tear crassy be back. About to be in a secondary school, I day. Ako, Abaya Yatatia Pansam. I useless, no. Dear to me, no. Obi, Abaya Yatatia Pansam Mokrano, and Neminoka say, a Chinanopa, police for air pass out from the police academy. Nurse for a year, MA form minimum, teacher for a form minimum, local government air far in my 4, civil service for air far in my 4, Abaya Tetia Pansamono, I work crisis, MPP, the Etumi NDC. During their time, they placed a freeze on sa employment here, Mekachoi. Table A, your friend Numa, table B, Omutumun friend Numa. Abaya Tetia Pansam under MPP Obi Abai there is a crisis under this government. Abai Ejuma Nifu be a Juma. Waka say why you Juma 1 year? Esi etua oka yesi ye nisika into betu a 3 months. Abai yes I didn't be that under this government. Even in the face of a global pandemic, this government still ensured say every public sector worker was paid. In the face of crisis during the 2015 period under NDC, omuji teacher for nurse for allowances if you musem eme hia fomba eketrefie omutumi anko school under Nana Akuffo Addo. In our crisis, in our difficult moment, in our lowest moment, every poor person's child who is willing and ready to go to school, yetua na hoka asia bona hoka asia mana kohama sika true allowances say on fire day on Franco school. Under this government, in our crisis, in our lowest of times, we have constructed more roads than the NDC did in the last 8 years. We have constructed more roads in 5 years than the NDC did in the last 8 years. Under this government, or no Samidi, if you say useless, no, we have done better than them. Obi, under this government, Samidi, if you say useless, no, almost 37 projects are almost under health. 37 oman tumi an review ono no see say na sikane da ho sikane da bank na some kai o sikane da bank etika bodan for kwara betumi eden aye enso so wen tumi an review okoje bosia $175 million so the baba hospitals mako 6 otuye sikane mo $140 million owie hospital ba ko pe mienu empo de wan ko ho kran fa aso nkoye den ankosi fam. Under this useless government, ye buy hospitals and health facilities or muja ya omuntu mi no ye yaba ababewie to the extent say they are omobeto ye fi omampani kofo abreso kwa no omuja to oba beto ye ema omampani kofo asefo under this useless government. That is what we have been able to achieve. Under this useless government across the country, we have over 111 projects a commission say for the health sector. I'm not say close to about 70 and 80 BDA ongoing across the country under this useless government, according to Sami Jemfi, who speaks for the NDC. This is what we've been able to achieve. Etiobi, for MPP2 in Senieni, na for NDC2 in Senieni, na Ghana from the say, say, Yajutum, nipa de, asem ewo biye ho, or how near tete empa or mine biada. Enti between MPP, so how near mani hunu ba, you to be making sure say, you be so Ghana for asene, to send a free water, free electricity, COVID relief funds, COVID relief support to private sector, any the sort of intervention we put in place during the crisis period in COVID. No? NDC form the COVID no. It was not life and death situation. A form for some yakayakade. A form for some yam mekose ye and kameno ka say yeti ye free ha ye be free fie bisa say kane wo fie na say kane ni fie omo yam mekose ye ni ama ye ho kire ye wo mai we mu ama tete na betra ya pempem ye kola kate na fie ntumi nko school enya fo ba ne sika fo ba ntumi nko classroom enko tra dan ba kumu uye ye ni ba o kate na fie sika fo man ko na eko school te say ne omo advocate sisi say ye review senior high school education because in their minds nipa bebrebe tumetua near Mexico for exclusive access. No munko school. MPP, we said we are not going to do that. In the crisis that we find ourselves, we are going to make sure say you be tuya Ghana for embahoka no mutu day aku school na day amaye. So there's a clear difference between the MPP and the NDC and what we can do in face of crisis. Bibisano. Say, onka one single social intervention policy. Omede about my way mu or say get fund many problem or say free sandals many problem or say free school uniforms many problem me say fato to yeso ye de na ye ho na fe ye hwe de ne de den e sebe ni de no eto asum na Ghana for ye den en fan take decision me catch there Sami Jemfi say ye ti yi say ye dis an komo we nyina yi between the MPP and the NDC we are the only government I had to ensure say yene private sector akayentoma aboye dia no ema anya hwekrando over 270 projects factories obi factories and air cost across the country. Last time it was about 106. Today I hear almost about 125 of such factories operational. The rest are ongoing under the NDC. Obi omo pasembra omo ko parliament ekohyehyɛ mbra say ya de sa mbra we eba na ya ton aban factories a ye won nyina. It was called the Diversity Implementation Act. Almost that hyehyɛ mbra wo. When we are building factories, they went to pass a law to collapse factories in this country. Almost that hyehyɛ mbra. 94.7 Ghana factories nyina over 300 factories almost ton nyina in this country. Factories are coming from nyina NDC for by between 1993 and 1996 almost ton factories are coming from ACC nyina almost ton die e de be sorry ukojo wulu a factories na wo bebre na ya ban dia almost dey sorry. And you are rather calling a government anya hwekrampo uko mikroma. Ever since I was born in the Akuapem land, this is the first time in my life I'm a new factory. I na me no ka say nyumrei me tuka na me kodu manfia me hu say mrantie e hye yellow shirt and a black trouser and a boots omo free here omo free factory omo koye adwuma o shoe fabric omo ko pam shoe obi me bro shoe ni bi ma wa sha boy hu o se shoe fabric ni bi
omo bro mi bi wo ha
me da se yankopon hira wo shoe na wo se no bi. It was manufactured and produced by hand by young people of Akuapem land under Nana Akuffo Addo. That project was funded under the 1D1F project of about 6 million Ghana cedis. Shoe fabric. For the first time in my life in the Akuapem land and any other young person, met me I say since Kwame Nkrumah Komoso State Farms Eguye in the 60s, you know, this is the first time young factory meat processing plant ewa Apasare. This is the first time.
Okay.
And a government does all of this. Why yes I know my way nyina. Ashe says I know my way nyina. They be me catch nkrofo say yes shebo bebre. Munhwe bosha na ye di so no. No kre ye wo ohaw mienu. Ye wo fuel prices no. Ene your dollar forex exchange rate say how me no intanya bia niema mfan say niema be 30 na o ka say obeye na wa mu 28 na mienu no migitum say e very important untumi ye ya wo be gyan no ato no akokofo bi a ono ka so be niema be 50 o ye mu 2 because omunim say ne eti twantro omunim say ne ma ade tuntum edani fita omunim say ne ma ade akoko eye brown. The NDC is the only political party until recently they had a propaganda secretary which they've converted into Sami Jemfi's role called communication officer. But I can tell you say me miracles there many MPP mranti a waga na he nyina aka to ye mu aka to ye trimu say ekwem bi e faso a ye be protect the gains na ya make as a country na ya make sure say yen road these gains no just as we did in 2009 to 2016 no we are going to ensure that. And there's only one way we will ensure that. By always opening up the lies of the NDC, clarifying it to the people of Ghana, explaining it to the people of Ghana, and taking them on the journey with us. OBC, and yes, sir. If we don't do that as young people of this political party and stand up to this propaganda and lies by the NDC, what will happen is that 2009, in Muchafa President Akuffo, and then I refer to President Akuffo and say, "Mano, they lied about him. They deceived us about him. They told a lot of propaganda about him. Eka saw your comfort, to the extent that when President Akuffo was leaving office, now banks, HCI, CMBJ now banks, refuse, CMBJ. By the time they were leaving, interest rate, then number 30%. Into bank be a crime, person bebaho, no abejiska. Obia crowd some person beko bank, akwakojiska. They eroded us, destroyed us, sent us down into the deep hole. And that is what we are trying to avoid as a political party. Dennis. And we are begging and asking, say, Ghana for yes, Samo Madaroma. Niamani de ya bebre so na aka. Mo mayen fini bin ka ho. Na yemfa ntenetire nioma, na yemfa nsiesie nioma. De yesi kwan so ayeye no. Ye pe ne yenimu ekwan for ye fa so ye de ba ye. Ye pe ne yenimu ekwan fa so ye betumi aye. There is no way NDC for betumi aye. Omo nim se ne yesi ye no. Omo ni gidie mpo e wa sa policies ni mu. Si ye de sa to mi no mana. Ombe sayen no ma san de yakọ ekire mfire wotwe ne mfi do mienu biem. Madaroma. Mo boy. Ne nyina ye ndi sa dwumedie na daachi bi yetumi awie a ina nyina bedi adanse se MPP e wadwempa e magana.